The afternoon sun slanted through the dusty windows of the small repair shop nestled between a laundromat and a rundown bookstore on the corner of Maple Avenue. Inside, the faint hum of old radios and antique cassette players filled the silence. Elliot sat hunched over his workbench, peering through a magnifying glass as he adjusted the delicate wire of a vintage turntable. His hands, though aging, moved with the precision of a man who'd been doing this for decades. The shop smelled of solder, wood, and time long gone. Elliot hadn't spoken to anyone beyond the delivery guy in months. He didn't need to. Since the accident, life had folded in on itself like an origami box. Neat, confined, and purposefully closed. His days were a blur of repairs, old music, and the occasional letter from his brother that he never opened. It was easier this way. No surprises, no reminders. The bell above the door jingled. Elliot didn't look up. Most people didn't come in. Those who did usually left with disappointment once they realized this wasn't a retail store. But the soft padding of feet persisted until they stopped just a few feet from his bench. "Sir?" A child's voice, small, uncertain. He looked up and blinked. A girl stood there, no older than 6 or 7. Her dark curly hair tied into 2 messy pigtails. She wore a sky blue dress that looked like it had seen better days. And clutched in her tiny hand was a broken hearing aid. "Sir, my mom can't hear me. Can you fix this?" Elliot stared at her. He hadn't heard a child speak in years. Not since his own daughter's laughter stopped echoing through their home. His throat tightened. He opened his mouth, but no sound came. The girl placed the device gently on the counter, her big brown eyes locked onto his. "She says it's okay, but I know it's not. She doesn't hear me when I say I love you. I want her to hear that." Elliot's breath caught. A memory surged. His wife tucking their daughter into bed, whispering, "I love you more than all the stars." The sharp sting of loss hit him again, but this time it was mixed with something else. A tug, a reason. He cleared his throat. "Where's your mother now?" "Waiting outside. She doesn't like to come in places like this. Too many sounds she can't understand." Elliot picked up the hearing aid. It was old, outdated, but not unsalvageable. "What's your name?" "Maya." "Well, Maya," he said, wiping the device gently with a cloth. "I'll see what I can do." Maya's face lit up. She smiled so wide her cheeks dimpled, and Elliot felt the frozen walls inside him begin to thaw. He worked through the evening, long after Maya and her mother had left with the promise to return. The hearing aid had water damage, corrosion on one terminal and a damaged receiver. It was tedious work, but something about it felt sacred, like he was stitching together a bridge between a mother and her child. The following day, the bell rang again. Maya came back with her mother, a woman with soft features and tired eyes. She signed something and Maya interpreted, "She says thank you for helping." Elliot nodded and handed the repaired device to Maya. "It should work now. Just be gentle with it." Maya reached up and fitted the aid into her mother's ear. Then she looked at her and said clearly and slowly, "I love you." Her mother blinked, startled. A second passed and then tears welled up in her eyes. She signed something quickly. "She heard me," Maya whispered, her voice trembling. "She heard me." Elliot looked away, his eyes stinging. He hadn't expected it to hit him so hard. The gratitude on their faces, the simple connection restored, it broke something open in him. After they left, he sat in silence, staring at the now empty counter. Days passed and Maya returned. Not with a broken device, but with curiosity. She asked questions about wires, frequencies, microphones. She wanted to learn. At first, Elliot was cautious, but soon her presence became the light through the crack in his wall. He taught her the difference between mono and stereo, how to solder a wire, how to recognize a dead capacitor. Her eyes sparkled with every new discovery. One afternoon, she brought a cassette tape labeled for Dad. "I made this with your tape recorder," she said. "Can we listen together?" He hesitated. The last tape he had listened to was his daughter singing, "Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star." He'd never had the courage to play it again. But this was different. He slid the tape into the player. A moment later, her little voice crackled through the speaker. "Dear Dad, I don't have one. But if I did, I'd want him to be like Mr. Elliot. He fixes things and listens. And he taught me that even broken things can work again. Maybe people too." Elliot's heart cracked open like thunder splitting the sky. When the tape ended, he sat in silence. Maya looked up at him, unsure. He wiped his eyes and smiled. "Thank you." From that day, things changed. Elliot reopened the front of the shop, cleaned the windows, repaired the sign. He even put out a flyer: audio repairs and lessons, inquire within. Word spread. People came, mothers, grandparents, musicians, kids. And Maya kept showing up, always asking questions, always eager to learn. She brought life back into the space, and in doing so brought Elliot back into the world. One day, as they soldered a radio together, she looked at him and asked, "Do you think my mom can hear everything now?" Elliot nodded. "She can hear the most important things. That's what matters." He paused. "And sometimes, you don't need ears to hear love. You just need a heart." Years later, Maya would grow up to become an audio engineer herself. She'd tell her story at conferences, holding up the same hearing aid, now encased in a glass box. "This," she'd say, "was the first thing I ever fixed. Well, actually, it fixed me. And it fixed a man who forgot how to live." And in the front row, always proud, always silent, Elliot would smile.